Bears, Commanders, week 6 is here. Thursday night football. The highlighter jerseys are back. Momentum coming into the week after the offense had their best overall game, really only overall half this season against the Minnesota Vikings. Welcome to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Rohde, joined alongside my good friend and co-host Tony Sapita. Tony, Bears coaches seem to agree with what? Excited to see Darnell Mooney getting honored.
Yeah, they seem to agree with like what you said, how the offense had their best overall game. They're honoring Darnell Mooney as an honorary captain. So it's a nice little nod to the work and that veteran leadership he's shown throughout the process this year that we've seen. And I'm sure it's even more behind the scenes, especially with the wide receiver room probably being in a little bit of a bit of disarray, I would say. So that was kind of cool to see that confidence, that vote of confidence by this coaching staff.
Damn right. And Matt Eberflus is winning these guys over. It's been a conversation on Twitter for the last week. But Matt Eberflus is building a culture that the other guy to not be named Ron will just never could do. But Bears are looking to get back to 500 this win on Thursday Night Football. We got all the information pregame for you prepared. And Tony, what are you looking forward to most about watching Week 6 Bears Commanders on Amazon Prime TV?
Yeah, I just can't wait to watch those 15 Amazon commercials per commercial break.
Horrible.
As well as, the sponsored by Amazon coin toss, kickoff, touchback, and overall football game, just in general, brought to you by Amazon. So excited for that, I don't know. This is going to really test my my football, my corporate sponsorship patience, I guess is the best way to put it. Because it's brutal sometimes.
I mean, like, I thought about going to the game tomorrow and tickets. Mm-hmm. I just can't justify paying like the ticket price. Like, so this is why we need Arlington Heights. I'm just putting that out there. But anyway, I'm not looking forward to watching it on TV. That's why I'm still considering going to the game tomorrow. Just so I will
say local listing, if you're still a cord uncutter, so you still have cable, I believe Fox 32 is carrying the game, so you don't have to watch it on Prime. Obviously,
going
if
to
you
my parents' house
cutter, we're all screwed. But I believe that's the case. I saw that somewhere on Twitter. I apologize if I'm wrong.
Going to my parents' house tomorrow and watching the
game.
You go. That's a fact. If my dad obviously lets me, he's probably watching and going, no, he's not. So anyway, let's kick into the episode for you guys today. Bears offense versus Commanders defense is what we're going to hit on today. Bears are walking into Soldier Field after pulling off almost a huge comeback in week 5 against the Minnesota Vikings. Fields looked unreal in the second half, specifically 12 for 13 with 135 passing yards and 1 touchdown. No interceptions, putting that out there. Luke Getsy had some nice play calling, getting the tight end and wide receiver more involved. Tony, I know you're going to hit on Cole Kmet in a little bit, but the Bears offense still stinks, according to paper. They are 32nd in passing. They are 5th in rushing, but they are the 31st total offense in the NFL offensively, and that means they're 1 up from last week. So way to go, Luke Getsy, bringing us back.
Yep.
Quick comment about the offensive lines. That the offensive line has 18 sacks through 5 games. As a Bears fan, that's not bad. As a NFL fan, that's bad. But the improvement is there. I just want to throw it out there because you're going against a Commanders defense that's ranked 19th in passing, 14th in rushing, and 18th in total defense. I mean, honestly, the Commanders on paper are much worse or much better than they look actually on the field. The Vikings and Giants, they just look weird. But we're talking about the Commanders anyway. The Commanders are not a good ball club, and I think that this should be. We'll get into score predictions later, but I feel like their middle of the pack defense, nothing too much to worry about.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Fields had a bit of a swagger about him in the second half. We just haven't seen this year. We saw it a little bit last year when he was really slinging it. Something was clicking for him. It seemed like that let Fields cook offense was finally in full swing. If only some.
I like that you put that in all capital letters, like it's a title. So
it absolutely is. That's the name of my playbook I'd be running out there. Absolutely. So if only some smart, handsome podcast hosts had been pounding the table for that for months. But also we said it too. So last comment before, I don't know if you're going to move to defense or what you want to do exactly, Nick. If you want to comment on this, even I think personally it's harder to get out of last place in total offense than to get to first. So it's actually much more impressive what the Bears did moving up to 31st than it would be to have the top overall offense.
Someone's going to roast us in the comments for that one right there. Like, wow, so impressive. Moved up one spot. No, I agree. I think the Bears offense is heading in the right direction. You started to see that at the end of the Giants game, and then it was slow in the beginning until about the late first half in the Vikings game. And then they turned it on the entire second half. So I don't know if, Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy had this this is a conspiracy right here, but they were like, okay, for the first 5 games, we're going to do absolutely nothing. We are going to be horrible. We're going to look like Mark Trestman. And then against the NFC North Vikings, we're going to just turn it on at the end. We're going to start, teasing a little bit, and then bam, we're going to go after you. I was thinking of ways not to make it sound dirty because I was like, I started off with tease. I was just like, okay, how am I going to not make this sound wrong? So they're going to, they plan this haul out, and Bears could absolutely rip it up tomorrow night, which I think that against the 19th passing defense, and you have N'Keal Harry able to play tomorrow. You have Darnell Mooney coming off a huge game. You have Cole Kmet starting to cook. St. Brown, as always, is my guy, is looking good. I think that the Bears, honestly, if they don't play Pettis and Smith, which I don't know how Smith did not get cut, not Roquan Smith. I think that this offense can cook against the Washington Commanders, especially against a less than average pass defense.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Also couldn't agree more with ISM Isaiah Smith Marset. Should have been cut. He is one of my keys to the game. I'll tease that now. Stick around for keys at the end. Give him a little, I guess, shout out. Maybe it's a shout out. You'll see.
Well, also another thing that I want to put out there is that Dave Montgomery looked really good in his first game back after being out 2 weeks. So I think that he shook the rust. Well, technically a game and a half, but really he was out 2 games. He was just shaking the rust off. He had more receiving yards against the Vikings than rushing yards, but he had a rushing touchdown. And then Khalil Herbert. I mean, the Bears barely ran the ball against the Minnesota Vikings. So because they took advantage of a very weak Minnesota secondary. So overall, I could see David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert getting more rushes because they will help open up the passing offense as a whole and give the confidence to Montgomery and Herbert moving, and even Ebner. I'm still salty at him for losing that 5-leg parlay. So it's hard for me to say his name sometimes.
Super analytical take here about Montgomery, and we can move on to the defense. He's awesome.
He really is.
He's just.
I would
he always falls forward. He is the most underrated. I say it every week. I'm like, I must be looking at it wrong. I must be the idiot. I must not know football. But he just pounds away. Our offense isn't that good, and he just makes something out of nothing every time. It's incredible. Sorry, I think that every week.
Hey, you're making an honest argument. You're making an honest argument. I think David Montgomery is one of the biggest steals in the draft in the last 5 years. Yeah. I'll say it. I mean, and that's not just being a Bears fan. The dude just, whatever he has, he's kind of like Walter Payton when Walter Payton had no one when he was the Chicago Bears. And I'm not saying David Montgomery is the next Walter Payton.
People might
but
go in the comments.
I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying he plays with a lot of heart. He plays with his head down, and he just gets the job done when he plays. And the reason why he's always injured is because no one's helping him. So I just want to put that out there. I think that's going to be a big game for the offense. We'll get into our predictions in a little bit, but watch out for that. Let's go into Bears defense versus Commanders offense. The Bears defense looked much better in the second half of the Minnesota game, looked absolutely dog awful in the first half of the game. And they're going against not an easy, a frisky Washington Commanders offense. I just love that Big Cat used the word frisky. It's just a perfect word. Whatever intern told him said that, or if he said it on his own, hats off to them. But one thing I want to go out with right now. So, okay, I'll say the offensive rankings and defensive rankings before my comment about Roquan Smith. So the Commanders offense overall is 19th. So they're less than average, but their passing offense is ranked 10th. Carson Wentz, I mean, I know Tony says he sucks eggs, as you can see. Carson, whatever it says, Carson Wentz sucks eggs.
Yep.
I took it away. I just wanted to show it real quick. But he's not doing a horrible job, especially with what he has to work with. I mean, they have Charles Leno Jr., and I know how my dad feels about Charles Leno Jr., or any Bears fans feels about Charles Leno Jr., is that he's dog awful, and the guy still has the 10th best passing offense in the NFL through week 5. But they are horrendous at rushing the ball. Bears are ranked 5th. They're ranked 28th. So this could be a good morale boost for the Chicago Bears defense. Because the Chicago Bears rushing defense is ranked 31st. So we're ranked 31st overall offense, and we're ranked 31st in rushing defense. No bueno. Total defense is 22nd, but passing is 9th. So you're going against the 10th passing offense versus the 9th passing defense. Not bad. But what I want to call out real quick in regards to that is that everyone's got to slow their horse on Roquan Smith. His expectations are through the goddamn roof. By all means, totally necessary. Dude wants $20 million a year. I would expect him to get 100 tackles a game too. But see, we got to get realistic. Roquan Smith is tied for first in the NFL in tackles with a total of 54 entering week 6. And if you do the math, which we're both pretty good at, is that's 10.1 tackles per game. That is not bad. Actually, no, it's 10.25. Horrible at math. Should never have said that.
Yeah, wow,
but anyway, but Roquan Smith is not doing a bad job. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah. Other analytical breakdown of the 54 tackles is Brian Urlacher is number 54. So, I mean, can we really hate on him that much? Yeah. So
Thanks,
overall, though, I'm just, I told you.
Great call. That's a hot take.
Yeah, I come with the stats. That's what everyone knows about.
Tony's big stats guy.
So overall, yes, you saw my name or my little description. Carson Wentz sucks eggs. I am so unafraid of Carson Wentz just overall as a quarterback, not just this year, but just in the past too. There were the rumors. I don't know, Nick, you should remember. I don't know if you do. The Bears were trying to trade for him, and they thought they should trade for him. What was it, a couple years ago when he was leaving Philly for the first time?
When we got Andy Dalton.
I'd rather have Andy Dalton than Carson Wentz. You can put that on a T-shirt, whatever you want to say. It's
Tony
not
wants Andy Dalton.
Not a ringing endorsement of Andy Dalton necessarily. But I was having nightmares about Carson Wentz being on this team, just in general. Every year, they get excited for Carson Wentz. This is the year he's coming back to MVP form, and he just doesn't do it. I'm correct every time in saying he disavow that. But every year he freaking stinks so bad. The Bears are going to have minimum 2 interceptions and a sack fumble. So recover the fumble.
Is Eddie Jackson going to restart his winning streak of interceptions?
Yes, I think so. If you remember
agree.
last year or 2 years ago, whatever, the last time we played Washington on prime time, Clinton Dix returned that. Yeah, great name is right. He returned, I assume that was an interception. It might have been a fumble, but either way, he returned it to the house. Our defense is going to get a score, I think.
So you called out the safety, Clinton Dix, the other safety alongside Eddie Jackson. It's so funny because I was about to say Jaquan Brisker has not had an interception in a minute. And he's hungry. He keeps saying he wants one. What better way? Primetime highlighter jerseys put on the highlight reel. Jaquan Brisker gets his first interception at Soldier Field. Why not?
Let Brisker cook.
Let him cook. Let him eat. Let him cook. I'll cook. He eats. How about that? Overall, I think that this Bears defense, they're going to get a morale boost. I really hope they get their mojo back against one of the worst rushing offenses for their rushing defense. And again, surprisingly, Carson Wentz isn't horrible this year, but the Bears secondary cannot take it easy this game. Roquan Smith also needs to be a human highlighter. He even said himself that he looks like a highlighter out on the field in the all orange jersey. So
shout out Brian Robinson. Great story about coming back from the gunshot wounds to the booty.
With many men playing when he's running out. That's just, I thought it was fake. And then there was actual people's phones. I was like, wow, I could run through a wall. I was a Commanders fan for 2 seconds.
Yep. But I hope he has negative 57 yards this week. But after this, he could be successful. I'll root for him then.
Absolutely.
That's the one guy I'm definitely, because we haven't really seen him true, because he didn't have a great week last week. And we all know the story. Buddy. I am a little worried about him. I think he is going to be a special player in this league. So this hopefully is not his coming out party on national television. So.
Absolutely. Let's move on to injury report. So injury report so far for the Chicago Bears is wide receiver N'Keal Harry is off of IR with that ankle injury and is questionable versus the Washington Commanders. Luke Getsy said it's unlikely that he'll play in a press conference, and then Harry comes out to the press and says, I'm ready to go. It's up to the coaches. So we could see that tomorrow night. I would love it. I would absolutely love nothing more to see him first play, get a 15-yard reception and be like, yeah, baby, Bears are back.
That's a great move by Getsy, really quick to just be, they probably talked behind closed doors being like, hey man, we're probably not, we don't know if you're ready. I'm going to take the heat and say, we don't want to play. You can say whatever you want, get the media kind of off your back. People will probably like, when's he coming back? When's he coming back? I think that's a great leader move by Getsy and Eberflus.
I didn't think about that till you said it. Good call, Tony. Smart guy, Tony. Bring big stats guy, Tony. Also loves it. Also, Tony loves Andy Dalton. So anyway, going to the rest of the injury report, defensive back Dane Cruikshank hamstring is questionable, but was a full participant this week at practice. And Jalen Johnson is likely to play tomorrow night. He practiced all tomorrow night. He practiced all week. Looks good. Love to see it back. Bears are healthy. I just love that the Bears are healthy. New regime, new training staff. Love it. I just love that the Bears are healthy. The record I don't like, but I love that the Bears are out there because then we get to see actually what this team is made of.
Just in time for some interceptions too. Ooh, the DBs are going to be eating. Yep.
Feed me that deep dish Lou Malnati's. Oh, they have the white cheese pizza deep dish now. Oh, it's freaking cholesterol on a pan. Let's go to the Commanders injuries real quick. Dad, if I'm coming over to watch the game tomorrow, we could totally get that, by the way. I know he has reward points from Lou's that we told him about. So just putting that out there. Sounds like a free pizza for me. Anyway, Commanders, Logan Thomas, tight end is out. That's big. Jayton Dotson, standout rookie wide receiver. Bears. Thank you, Tony. You know what? Tony, you go through the injury report.
All right. Jahan Dotson, standout rookie wide receiver. Nick and I were, I think, screaming that the Bears should take him in the preseason before the draft. He is out of Penn State, if you don't remember where he's from. And the William Jackson, the third cornerback, is also out. I just saw the players that were out. There might be guys that are questionable. I apologize if I didn't include them all. You can blame me or Nick. Actually, blame Nick. It'll be more fun. Official take from Tony Sapita. It is not what is sitting below the screen right now. So I hate that they got rid of the probable designation years ago.
Sucks.
That's my official take. It's annoying.
But Tony loves Andy Dalton. So anyway, he hates one thing, loves Andy. Anyway, let's go to our 3 keys of the game really quick. Tony, let's rapid fire through these suckers. Pretty much what I'm going to say, whatever you did in the second half of the Minnesota game, do it again and do it every half for the rest of the season. Blitz early and often. Treston Gibson, every time that he did blitz, was in the backfield making Kirk Cousins' life hell. He's going against a much easier offensive line in the Washington Commanders. Go crazy, sack Carson Wentz. All I got to say. And finally, like we've been saying, let Montgomery and Herbert feast. This is a weak rush defense, much weaker than they look on paper. Let them cook. Let them eat. Bears got to win this game. Score prediction in a sec. Tony, 3 keys to the game before it goes out.
Yep. Speaking of cooking, let Fields cook. Just let him keep cooking. Put the ball in his hand. Let him make plays. Second key, keep getting that ball to speaking of feeding guys, keep feeding Kmet. We've been saying it all year. We said it last year. We said it, we've been yelling about it. And when they did it, it worked. It's crazy town. It's like we know something. And
it's like
third,
we know something.
Here's the Isaiah Smith Smith-Marset shout out. Don't let the defense strip the ball out of your hand on the potential game-winning or game-tying drive. Overall, be smart with the football. Don't turn it over. The Commanders stink. Don't give them extra chances.
All right, that's easy. That's 3 keys to the game. What you guys need to know. Score predictions real quick. I'm going 28-10 Bears. We need to win this game. Go back to 500. Entering arguably a free bye week from the NFL. 11 days off in between games. Thanks for that, Roger Goodell, even though you suck. 28-10 Bears.
Bears 31-17. Fields balls out on national television. Bears get a defensive score. We get back to 500. Bear down.
Bear down. Thank you guys for listening into this very fun episode because, Tony loves Andy Dalton. Thanks for listening to this episode. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside Tony Spita. We'll be back for initial game reaction tomorrow night. We will record and upload as soon as we're done uploading. We'll see how fast the computer processes. But thank you guys for joining in, and we'll see you guys next time.